Hello and welcome to the build-up from RamsTV. We're back at Pride Park tonight to see if Derby County can make it 4 championship wins in a row. Hull City are the team in town. And this is a meeting of 2 of the Championship's form teams. Hull have taken 13 points from their last 15 available, a run that includes wins over Sheffield United, Birmingham, Leicester and Norwich at the weekend. What a contrast to when these sides last met on the penultimate day of last season, when Derby picked up the victory that kept them in the Championship. Hull survived on final day 2. And they have really kicked on since then. More on the Tigers in a moment. But first, let's hear from Joe Ward, who made his first championship start in almost a year at the weekend, helping Derby to their first win at Sheffield United in nearly 15.
Yeah, brilliant performance. You know, it was always going to be a tough game, tough place to go. But yeah, we were well drilled, well prepared, and yeah, it was a really good performance.
And for you coming into it, got the assist. Cotton Morris got a hat trick. First of all, talk to me a bit about him as a striker for this team. How important a role does he play? Yeah,
unbelievable. He's been amazing since he's come in. Done what he's done. You know, scored goals. Been a real handful for the opposition, and yeah, it's great to have him up there. It's a massive target to hit. He can bring everyone into play, and he scores goals, and fair play to him, he deserved that.
And for you, it's your first league start since December 2024. Must be really happy then to have an effect and get that assist on the ball.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. Worked as hard as I could in a really good place. So yeah, I was really happy when I got the call about, you know, starting, and yeah, it was a really pleasing performance. Happy to, you know, give my all and contribute.
Talk to me a bit about that journey of coming back in and being ready. Obviously scored that goal at West Brom earlier in the season, but for you, been a bit of a rocky road with injuries. How important is it to be prepared and ready when you're called upon?
Yeah, it's massively important. You know, the ones who aren't involved and aren't in and around it, it's probably more important than the actual starters, because, you know, you've got to come on and close things out and you know, contribute to possibly, you know, not lose the game and potentially score or assist to try and help win the game. So you've always got to be ready. The gaffer bangs on about it. You know, one week you might not be on the bench, one week you might not be in the squad. So you've got to be doing the right things and ready at all times to, you know, it's going to help you individually and help the team. So yeah, I pride myself on doing as much as I can to be ready. And you know, it benefits me when the time comes, because there always will be a time. Something will happen and you'll be ready to go in.
And as a group now, 3 wins on the bounce, feels like a bit of momentum building. How important, A, is that, and B, it was something that you saw coming?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we've been building in training. Your confidence is high. You know, the feeling around the group is really good. And yeah, we just want to keep improving, keep building. You know, the first 2 wins were great, and then that win on Saturday was massive. So yeah, we just got to keep building, and things will start paying off for us.
And now under the floodlights at Pride Park against Hull, what do you make of them as opponents? Yeah,
they've had a good last couple of games. They're on a good run, but yeah, so are we, and we'll be ready for a tough night, but it'll be a good one, especially at home.
A confident Joe Ward there ahead of tonight's visit of Hull City. Plenty has changed for the Tigers since we last saw them on the penultimate weekend, I should say, of last season. Yeah, most notably a new manager, Sergei Yakarovich, replacing Ruben Sayej in the summer. There have been plenty of new signings too, and it's all working out rather well. Hull moved up to 7th on Saturday with an impressive 2-0 win at Norwich, their first win at Carrow Road. for over half a century. They've won 4 of their past 5 without star striker Ollie McBurney for the most part, who's been an inspired signing over the summer. Let's get a word from the Tigers' assistant boss, Dean Holden, still buzzing after that win at Norwich.
Yeah, it was obviously delighted with the result. We were happy at half time to get in at 0-0. I'll be honest with you, we could have been out of sight first half. They were very good, and they gave us real problems and obviously had some chances, made some saves, and we had work to do at half time in terms of obviously we changed the system and we're much more defensively solid in that second half, and we gave them problems on the counter attack. We looked a good team in the second half, so it was. I think you look at where they are in the league, you look at the results, the run of results they're on, and you feel for Liam a little bit because they've got some excellent players. So yeah, we were more than happy to obviously come away with the 3 points.
And a big opportunity to back it up at Pride Park. You took 7 points from 9 in the last 3 game week. You've given yourself a fantastic platform at a place this club historically has really struggled. So that you'll be going to Pride Park absolutely full of beans, won't you?
Yeah, we will for sure. Can't wait for it, to be honest. Obviously we started the prep before the Norwich game and spent the journey sort of having a look at Derby, and again a team that are in good form. 3 wins on the spin. Changed the system as well a couple of games ago, and seem to have found a way of winning. And they've got some key strengths in the team. You look at the strikers that they've got available to them. A bit of everything. They've got some power, some speed. They've got some aggression up there with Carlton Morris, etc. So we know we've got to be right on our game tomorrow to get a result. But it's a great game for us.
In terms of Derby, how do you go? Obviously, we know John Eustace teams are well organised, well drilled, very, very strong from set pieces. Clearly, Sheffield United forgot to deal with Carlton Morris. How do you, on Saturday, how do you approach that one with them and trying to nullify their threat whilst also wanting to go about and play your game? Because obviously you're in great form.
Yeah, we have to play the game we want to play, and I mean that in terms of the 2 styles are slightly different. You've got to be prepared to stand up against the team. Against any, like you say, John Eustace's team's great guy, got a lot of respect for him, and his assistant Keith was my assistant at Bristol City, so I can't wait to see them. 2 really top fellas. But on the pitch, yeah, they put you under a lot of pressure, right from kick-off as well. They get the ball forward quickly, and they put the ball into areas where it's difficult to defend at times. So, but when we win the ball, we've got to make sure that we play our game. Sometimes you can get lulled into playing the game the opposition want you to play, and that's not going to be the way for us to go to get a positive result. So it's standing up to it and doing the defensive side of it, but knowing that, again, we know where their weaknesses are, and every team's got weaknesses, of course, and we've highlighted that this morning to the players, so they're well prepared.
That's the Hull assistant boss, Dean Holden. Time to hear from the man who celebrated his 46th birthday yesterday. Derby boss John Eustace got an early gift on Saturday as his side romped to victory at Bramall Lane.
Obviously very happy. It's a real professional performance from us. Delighted to score 3 goals as well. I thought we fully deserved the victory, and I was really pleased.
How encouraged are you with the progress that the side's making at the moment? Yes, you're getting the results, but we're seeing a real sort of step up in performance, which you spoke about, you felt was coming a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I can see a progression for sure. There's still a lot of hard work ahead, definitely. Which is still the exciting part for me. We're certainly not the finished article. We've had a couple of really good results, and the players have been amazing. The attitude has been different class, but there's still a lot of football to be played. It's a long season, and I'm really excited about working with the group and seeing us progress. How encouraged as well are you that when we hear players do interviews after games, they're all talking, yes, we've won, but the focus is on the next game, and that they know there's still plenty of room for improvement as well? Yeah, because they know the championship. The group know what the championship's all about. There's going to be ups and downs, and as long as throughout the season we're progressing and doing the right things and we're competitive in every game, that's all I ask for. It can easily bite you on the bum, the championship, when you think you've made it, and also it's character building. When you're going through difficult moments, how the group stick together. That's a sign of good recruitment. That's the sign of a really good dressing room as well. So we've had the ups and downs already this season, and there's going to be more. And I'm just pleased with the efforts of every one of the players up to now. What do you like about the team spirit at the minute? 'Cause we see clearly when you win games, you see a lot of a good feeling around the place. But I would imagine that you don't win games if you don't have that team togetherness. Yeah, you have to go through the difficult moments. Even with injuries, the way the boys have got round Owen Beck and
Max Johnson as well, you know, of late. It just shows that the group and the character in that dressing room is very strong, and it's going to get stronger throughout the season. And you know, they're an absolute pleasure to be working with.
Are you enjoying seeing the sort of connection building between the players and the fans as well? I'm thinking of Dion Sanderson and Sondre Langas having a little wrestling match together after the final whistle, and little things like that. You can feel a sort of connection building. It's really important, obviously, you know, to bring success to any football club. The fans have got to be connected with the players. That's all I ever ask wherever I've been. You know, I want that connection with the players and the fans, and as long as the fans can see that commitment, I think that's all they ask for here at Derby County. You sweat blood for the shirt, for the badge, and you know, that's what I ask and that's what I demand. And you know, if we do that, then you know, we'll get that connection. Last year, the connection between the players and the fans was amazing, and you know, it's important that we keep building that this year. And as we go through some difficult moments, which we will again, you know, we stick together and we see the bigger picture. Just in terms of injured players, Curtis Nelson, he's been coming back from a pretty serious long-term injury. Got his first minutes on Friday for the 21s. How big a step was that for him, and how pleased was everybody to see him back out on the pitch? Everyone was delighted. You know, Nelson's a real character in the group. Even though he hasn't been able to perform on the pitch for us, you know, off the pitch he's been a top professional, a great character, and even last season during the difficult moments he was right behind the boys and helping. And this season now, even with the new players coming in, you know, he's been right in the middle of it and making sure they feel welcome and part of the Derby County family. You've spoken earlier in the season about when things aren't necessarily going as you would want them to, that you just need to keep calm. When you're winning games like this, I would imagine you don't have to reinforce the message to the group. It's just keep calm heads, keep going. Next game, that's all you need to focus on. Of course it is, and that's the Championship. You know, it's the most difficult league in the world, and if you get carried away with the highs or the lows, then you know, you get into trouble. And that's why the dressing room in there is so tight. You know, they understand we've got a lot of Championship experience in there, and we understand that it's a long season, 46-game season. At the end of that season, that's where we can get judged on where we're going to end up. You know, you're going to get some really good runs, and you're going to get some bad runs. And as I say, as long as we stick together, that's all I ask for. Games coming thick and fast. You've got Hull on Tuesday. What are you expecting from them? They've been on a pretty decent run of late. They've been on an excellent run. They're in the top 6. You know, they've got some really good players, coached very well. So we know it's going to be a really difficult game, but a game we're really looking forward to. And just in terms of being back at Pride Park, the players have had the feelings of winning against Norwich and QPR. How important was that for the players that had joined in the summer that hadn't experienced, again, we talk about a connection, that feeling after the game, the players doing the bounce with the crowd, that they get that connection with Pride Park and that feel-good factor? Yeah, it's vital. Obviously, we were really disappointed not to get a victory at home before we did. But, you know, again, the fans stuck right behind us, and it's important that the players, the group, feel what it means to win at home. You know, it means everything, and, you know, it's really important now. From now to the end of the season, we keep progressing and doing as well as we can.
There is Derby boss John Eustace. There are 8 games in the Championship tonight. The top 2 both in action. Leaders Coventry hosting Sheffield United at 8 o'clock. Second place Middlesbrough are away at Leicester as well. A couple of interesting games tomorrow. Southampton sacked Will Still yesterday. They head to Queen's Park Rangers on Wednesday night, while under pressure Liam Manning takes his Norwich side to Sheffield Wednesday. Coventry have a 3-point lead at the top of the Championship. 3 points is also what separates Middlesbrough in second from Hull, who start the night 7th in the table. 3 points is also what separates Charlton in 8th from Derby down in 17th. Plenty of scope for the Rams to climb the table tonight then, and they won't fall down the table thanks to the 4-point cushion between themselves and Oxford. Even a win for Norwich would not get them out of the bottom 3 this midweek. The Championship as competitive as ever, and 2 of its form sides face off tonight here at Pride Park Stadium. You can watch Derby County against Hull City on RamsTV. We're available everywhere outside the UK, so get your Game Pass now at dcfc.co.uk. And don't forget, tonight is our dedicated remembrance fixture, so if you are coming to the game, please make sure you're here and in your seat nice and early. I'll see you later for Matchday Live. Until then, goodbye.